What's going on, Reshoevn Nation? Jonny Bubbles back with another Shoe Care Academy video. Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to apply RESHOEVN8R Sole Shields on these brand new 2021 Air Jordan 11 in the cool gray colorway. Woo! Jake, hit me with the scream. All right, let's go ahead and take them out the box. Now, these are from Many Worlds. As you guys already know, we have a sneaker store here in Phoenix called Many Worlds Clothing. You can go ahead and cop one of our shirts as well, just using the link in the description below. Or if you want to buy these size 8.5s, they will be having a sole shield on them after I'm done. You can go ahead and do so if they're not already sold out by then. But without further ado, guys, let's get bubbly. Before we go ahead and apply the sole shields, guys, let's talk about the 11s real quick. Now, this shoe first released, or this colorway first released back in, when was it, Vic?
2001.
That's right. Second release was?
2011.
And third release?
2017.
21? Yeah, 17, yeah. 2021. This is the 2021 release, which I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not a big 11s fan. Connor, what do you think, bro? You an 11s guy?
No, they're not my type.
Not really your thing?
Not
I'm
bad.
a hype beast, Johnny.
Oh
He's not a hype beast? But anyways, C-Ken says he doesn't like them. I'm not the biggest fan either, C-Ken.
Always throwing me under the bus.
Okay? I'm saying I'm not the biggest fan either. We're not throwing you under the bus. I'm not the biggest fan of 11s. Now, the bread colorway obviously is iconic, and some people would say the cool grays as well are up there with it. Of course, Space Jam's iconic, right? I think everyone needs that in their collection. The cool gray, I don't think you really need to pick up this shoe this year. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on the 2021 version of the cool gray 11s. Did you like what they did with it? Are you glad that they're back? Did you cop them? Let us know in the comment section below. But now, moving on to the sole shield application, let me go ahead and go over what comes in the sole shield packaging. I have everything off to the right. You're gonna get alcohol prep pads. What you're gonna wanna do is clean off the outsole. Even if it's brand new, there's still some grease from you touching it, so you're gonna wanna use that. It's gonna come with 4 traction pads, 2 for each shoe, and it's also gonna come with a pair of sole shield film that fits up to a size 13 men's. Now, there's a matte side here and a shiny side. What you're gonna wanna do is trace on the matte side, but we'll get into that in just a bit. Now, the items needed, you're gonna need a pair of scissors. You're gonna need a marker. I typically say use a dry erase marker if you can, so that way if you accidentally mark the midsole or something, you can clean it off. Try to stay away from using a Sharpie or a pen. And of course, you're gonna need a heat gun. Now, we get questions all the time. Can I use a hair dryer? No, it's not gonna produce enough heat, so a heat gun is definitely recommended. You don't need a bad boy like this one, right? That's gonna be in the upper range of like 50 to 100 bucks. You can get one from your local hardware store for about $12. That's like a 600 watt, and you'll be perfectly fine. But let's go ahead and move on with this video. I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna be doing the right shoe, so I'm gonna put the left one aside, and let's get started. Now, the first step, guys, is we're gonna grab our alcohol prep pad and clean the entire outsole of the shoe. Now, this shoe is brand new. However, whenever you grab the shoe, grease from your hands is gonna end up on the outsole, and that can cause the film not to stick. So clean the entire shoe evenly, let it dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now that the outsole is prepped, guys, we're gonna go ahead and grab our sole shield film here. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a matte side and there is a glossy side. What you're gonna wanna do is place the glossy side down, matte side facing up, and that's the side that we're actually gonna trace over. So you're gonna grab your shoe, try to place it in the center as much as possible, so that way you have an even amount all around. Once you're comfortable with the spot, go ahead and grab your pen or marker, whichever you decided, and begin tracing. Now, I like to trace from the front all the way around, but it doesn't really matter. It's personal preference, whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, while tracing, you wanna make sure you take your time, don't rush. Make sure you try to avoid getting any marks on the shoe itself, and you follow the trace line as perfect as possible. Now that the shoe's all traced out, guys, let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. Now, it is a bit thicker on this side because when I went around, it went to the thinner tip on the marker, but no big deal here. So now the next step, guys, is to grab our scissors here and cut out the trace mark. Now, personal preference, it's really up to you guys. You can cut on the inside of the trace mark, on the trace mark, or on the outside of the trace mark. Since the translucent outsole goes all the way up to the midsole, I like to cut on the outer side because that's gonna give us a little bit more edge on the shield here. However, some people don't like to see it, so they cut on the inside. What that does is it can cause dirt to go on the inside of that sole shield and cause it to unstick. So I highly recommend cutting on the outside, but like I said, it's personal preference, but trust me on it. Cut on the outside, let it go over the midsole a little bit, you'll be perfectly fine. There you go, guys. The shield is all cut out. This is what it's gonna look like. Now, as we mentioned, there is a matte side and a shiny side. All you have to do now is peel it apart. I like to start from the heel portion here and try to get as little of a spot as possible so my fingers don't touch the entire shield. Pull it apart. And as you can see, the matte side has the trace line on it, which is why it's okay to trace. Now we'll take this glossy side and place it down on the sole. Now don't worry about being perfect when placing it initially, because we are gonna adjust it. So now all you have to do is just maneuver it slightly, but try not to move it too much because it will take off some of that adhesive. So I have it in a good spot that I'm comfortable with. I have enough coverage on the front, on the back, and of course on the sides. I'm happy with that. Now, probably the most important part is applying pressure before we apply heat. You wanna make sure you apply a lot of pressure to the entire outsole, push it down as much as you can into the crevices, and then we'll move on to applying heat. So there you go, guys. I am done applying pressure to the sole shield. Now, one quick tip, you wanna make sure that you apply pressure from the middle outwards so you can push out any air bubbles, and of course, do not seal the edges just yet. You wanna apply heat to the entire sole shield first. Push it the same way from the middle outwards to push out any air bubbles. Once the sole shield is attached to the entire shoe, then we'll go ahead and close up those edges once we're done. So let's go ahead and grab our trusty heat gun here and bring the heat. There you go, guys. I am done applying heat to the entire sole shield. As you can see, it adhered really nicely. And of course, like I said, it goes up a little bit on the midsole, which I actually really like. So that way it protects the outsole from getting any dirt in it and keeping it looking brand new. Now, the last step to do is grab our traction pads here. As I mentioned, the package comes with a total of 4. However, you want to use 2 per shoe. Now you can do whatever you want with these. You can cut them up and place them in multiple directions or spaces on the outsole. For this purpose, I'm only going to leave them just like this, and we're going to place on the forefront and on the heel here. So it's personal preference. Like I said, you can cut it in half, place one here, one in the center, one up front. It's really up to you. But for this purpose, we're just going to apply it here and here. So let's go ahead and peel them apart and apply them. That's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today's video, guys. Go ahead and check out the right shoe compared to the left one. As you can tell, this one has the sole shield on it and this one doesn't. Now, once again, the whole purpose of sole shields is to protect the outsole. Now, sole shields aren't for everyone, and I understand that. But if you wanna keep your soles icy and slow down the process of yellowing, or you just wanna keep your shoes looking dead stock, I highly recommend you picking up a pair of sole shields right now and using my promo code that is in the description below. But if you like today's video, guys, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I'm Jonny Bubbles, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. You're gonna see snow falling, but that's because I'm doing an ice sculpture, and it's gonna be Vic. And you're just gonna see me it's gonna be snowing around the building. Oh my goodness. Giant 40-foot tall ice sculpture. We gotta make it happen.